Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am using my little tablet to record this video real quick while I have all these cute, adorable puppies. Oh my goodness. This one right here, Firefly. Firefly, Firefly. Little Firefly. And then, oh my goodness, this big guy right here, Beethoven. Isaiah's ESA dog. Beethoven. He looks like a little corgi. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. He doesn't even have his mom or dad's feet. He probably has his grandpa's feet, because they're not dachshund. They're more like corgi. And the funny thing is, my son's always wanted a corgi for a dog, but they're expensive. Those little suckers are expensive. So God gave him a little corgi of his own. Huh, babe? And then we have Brownie Boo. Brownie Boo is the runt, the smallest. And he's going to be Liliana's little ESA dog, because he's just so dinking cute. And so tiny. And Brownie boy. Little Brownie Boo. And then, oh, and then there's Ducky. Ducky boy. Ducky is Serena's ESA dog. She picked him out first, so this is Ducky boy. And he's got the little white feet, like he stepped in paint. So little Ducky, Ducky, Ducky. This is how small they are. They're about 2.5 months old. They'll be 3 months old on the 25th. So they're still pretty tiny. Huh, Ducky. But I have been up super early because I had to get up with my Duchess. She got spayed yesterday. No more puppies. Oh, the factory's closed. We're done. Then these two right here are the last litter that we had. This is Starfly. He's about 8 months old now. Probably like 8 months, 7, 8 months old. But he's a big boy. Big guy. Still little though. Still little enough to carry around and be like, this is my little teacup chihuahua. Even though he's like part dachshund, Chiweenie from his mama. And then this guy right here, this scaredy guy, is Big Man. Big Man, Big Man, Big Man. He's actually the youngest out of Starfly and him. So he's the baby out of Starfly and him, the first litter. And he's just like, he is just a little timid thing. Doesn't like being held, absolutely awkward as can be. But loves all the attention still. Just your right big man. And I got the name from Sweet Tooth. Big man. But as you can see, I'm not even like, my hair's not done or anything, because I don't really do my hair that often anyways. But I just wanted to jump on and tell you guys that God is great. God is amazing. And tell you right now, here, this is, you want to see the dad to all these puppies? Ugh. This is the father. A purebred, hairless, teacup chihuahua. And that's the dad. How little he is. Look how tiny this little guy is. He's the daddy. Are you the daddy? Are you the daddy? Are you puppy daddy? Are you puppy daddy? He evolved. He adapted. Because if I only had him, he'd probably be all tiny. But he kind of like evolved and grown with Duchess, so she's a Chiweenie. So he had to kind of get bigger for her. But yep, 8 dogs, and they're all ESA. All of them were ESA, so that's wonderful. 3 of them have already been like adopted by my kids, so that's great too. They're all gonna have kennels in their room, and I'm gonna get them little leashes and everything, and a little bag of dog food and pee pads, and they're gonna be responsible for their dog when they're here, of course. For the rest of the time, I'll be babysitting them. Puppy sitting. Our wingless angels. These are the wingless angels, you guys. They're a blessing. They're like children. Oh my goodness, they're just like children. How could we just ever do anything wrong to these little angels? Huh? I always see such sad stories. Oh my goodness. Speaking of sad story, we were driving down the road and I saw a little white dog the size of my dachshund. My little Duchess, she's like a Chiweenie dachshund, so, weenie, dachshund, Chiweenie. Or no, Chihuahua and dachshund makes a Chiweenie. And this little white dog was just running around the busy street. I'm like, oh, please don't go in the street. It was so heart-wrenching to see, and I really wanted to go and grab him, but I don't know, that's hard bringing home a stray dog, and you've already got 8 other dogs, and you don't know how it's gonna be. You don't know if they're aggressive or not, but it's sad to see dogs out there because they're supposed to be our companions. They're supposed to be our friends. And we have people just dumping their dogs or picking puppies, and then they grow up and then they dump them back out on the street or at the Humane Society or the pound or whatever you call it. And I just think it's so sad. It is really sad. And you know what? Don't get me started on y'all people who rent out apartments and houses. You landlords out there seriously need to start changing your mind about pets, because pets, ow, you're biting my toes. They make you live longer. They help you to live longer. They help you to have peace and joy and just cuteness overload. Okay? Ow, my toe. No biting my toes, Beethoven. I just can't see how we can have so many poor animals that are just, blessings stuck in the pound or out there on the street. Here's a trick. And landlords, kiss my butt, because you can't do nothing about it, okay? Anybody out there who wants a dog, who is renting, and of course, your rental agreement or whatnot says no pets, no cats, no dogs, right? Turn that frown upside down. Get yourself into behavioral wellness or mental health even. Get a therapist, okay? Because we all need one, okay? We all need somebody that we can talk to without being judged, criticized, or worrying that they're going to go and gossip about what you're talking about. And you can seriously lay it on them. You can let it all out on these counselors and therapists, because that's what they're there for. To listen, to give advice or encouragement, right? Okay. Go to a therapist for 3 months, 4 months, maybe 6 months if you really want to push it. Then after 6 months, of course, keep going, because it's always good to have a therapist. But ask for an ESA letter stating that you are being seen at behavioral wellness or mental health by a psychiatrist, and it benefits you to have these emotional support animals. Ding, 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 ding. Therefore, Fair Housing Act cannot say, nope, you're not allowed to have your ESA, because ESA has the same rights as a service dog. Trust me. There's this landlord with Superstar Property Management who didn't know what he was talking about when he came at me wrong, all sideways, saying, oh, my blind nephew has a service dog, and that's what we would consider. And I'm like, I understand that, but Fair Housing Act covers ESA as well. So there was nothing they could do. They were trying to charge me $2,000 or $1,000. I had 2 dogs at that time, so $500 each. But they didn't get to, because they're ESA. And ESA, you don't pay a deposit on, you have no breed restrictions, and kind of don't have a quantity restriction either. Okay? I've got 8. Not purposely, but ended up with 8 ESA dogs. But that's a little simple trick that anybody can do. And it's really, you're not playing the system. You're not trying to be fraudulent. You're not trying to be like, oh, me, entitlement or whatever. What you're doing is you're taking back the control, basically, over your life. You're taking back what the enemy is stealing from you. And that's your joy and your peace and your stability and your confidence in life. Okay? So, like I said, get a therapist. see that therapist every week, every month, whatever it is. Get that ESA letter from them. And it can be even after you have your dog or before you get one, but your landlord cannot deny it, cannot charge you, and cannot say, no, you can't have it. Because if they do, you can report them to civil rights and take them to court. I almost won my case. Almost did. But because they didn't respond, like they didn't say no or yes for my ESA dog, they kind of, got under the radar. But that's all right, because just because an enemy or an evil person slips under the worldly radar doesn't mean he slips under God's radar. Because God is always watching. He's always watching us. Okay? But so just don't. But go and get yourself a therapist. Landlords, we have so many pets, so many children's pets being taken to Humane Society or the Pound or being dumped because they have to move and they can't take their dogs with them or whatnot, or cats, because you guys are saying no pets. What is a deposit for? Even if it wasn't ESA, what is a deposit for? $500 deposit is good enough, all right? I understand some people have some crazy dogs. They don't take care of them. Trust me, I know some people, like I said, their dogs can get, tear things up and whatnot. Have a restriction. Have the breed restrictions, the limit the amount of dogs if they're not ESA, but technically if they're ESA, you can't do nothing about it. You just gotta suck it up, buttercup. My dogs are whimpering, so I better get going, but I just want to jump on this morning and just praise the Lord and share my joy with you, because gosh, he's just, every morning I wake up, I get to see these lovely little faces, and they're so cute and very active. But just a little tip on how to get an ESA letter to have your ESA dogs. God bless you guys.